Where shall we go today? Where shall we go? Where do you want to go today? Let's visit Grimsby. Not the Cleethorpes bits, that's a separate one. Grimsby. Grimsby was named after some bees who were grim because they knew what the future of bees were. And they pluralised the grim instead of the bees. So it should have been Grim Bees, but it's actually Grimsby, which doesn't make sense. But it wasn't honey that the city was made on, or the town. What it was, believe it or not, flour. Flour is the big thing here. It's nothing else. Fish, pah, it's flour. Everything's got flouring on it. Flour mills, flour this, flour that, flour t'other. This behind me is one of the weirdest sets of traffic lights I've ever had the misfortune to drive through here in Grimsby. Literally, it's, well, nothing's happening. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now the cars can turn right. Only the cars that are in this lane, no one else can move. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 junctions, and I must have been stuck here for about 4 or 5 minutes, which for traffic lights is quite a long time. In fact, these cars here have been waiting here while I've been stood here. So I'll get text before they go. Oh, there you go. So they're off now. And then we've got those cars over there, which so far haven't moved. Grimsby. It's great unless you're in a car and you're going through a junction and the lights are on red when you get there. As you walk around Grimsby, you realise something. You're in Grimsby. And the architecture, well, it's all over the place. We've got like whatever the hell that is there, and then you've got whatever the hell that is over there, and then you've got some over here which is like Victorian. So yeah, that's Grimsby. They've even got road signs that are kind of there. To be fair, there is a road underneath, so it's not actually stupid. They even have a train track that goes over a road. And here's a train to prove it. That's good, isn't it? I want to get over and I can't because there's a train and there's cars down here. And oh, it's absolute chaos here in Grimsby. Madness! Like in many towns, you can play games here as well. For example, there's a shop there where they remove some of the letters and then you have to fill them in. So I think it's all about Eve's shop. I think that's what it's called anyway. I hope I win a prize. Grimsby's bus station is just a row of bus shelters with people looking very sad. I don't mean they look sad, I mean they are sad. Just, I mean, you know what I mean. It's not a very impressive bus station, to be fair. I've noticed that there's quite a lot of big pots here with trees in or shrubs, and some trees have been robbed and all that. But I'm looking at some of the locals, and I don't think many of the locals are really that into pot. I think they're into something a bit stronger. Amazingly, Grimsby's got a House of Fraser. I say amazingly, not because Grimsby shouldn't have a House of Fraser, more because I didn't think House of Fraser was still a thing. And it's gone very dark. Right, this is the, I assume the main town square. It's got quite a few shops in it. Just, well, shops, and a lot of them are still open. Although some of them are a little bit, I don't know where they're coming from, out of the town. There's this one, weirdly. It's got Christmas baubles still up in the window. That's nice, isn't it? It's like reminding people of Christmas when it's 31 degrees. Thank you, Magazine World. Got another one of the missing letter games here. Bullring Bullring hamburgers? Maybe it's hamburgers, I don't know. You could do with an hamburger, to be fair, but one with no calories on it. Grimsby was built on the fishing trade where you go out and fish, and here's a tribute to one of the original sailors who went fishing, and all those, of course, who tragically lost their lives getting fish for people. Vegans. Eat fish. Fairy tales are important to a lot of people, so there is a big church here for the most famous fairy tale of all. It's not actually that big, thinking about it. There's very little to inspire people here in Grimsby, other than getting out of it. However, it has inspired Banksy, probably. The building behind me has many artworks on it which show what happened in Grimsby over the years. So it looks like the Vikings, and then the fishermen, and then the docks, and then the docks. So yeah, if you want to know about the history of Grimsby, just come around here and look at these murals that are on the wall. Church as well. They put the church in the little ones. But there you go. Grimsby's history in a few little pictures. You gotta love it. Grimsby has a very famous, very successful football club called Grimsby Town. And guess what? They've even named the railway station after the football club, Grimsby Town. Isn't that cool? Some things like to state the blinking obvious. For example, we've got a thing over there called Friary Stitch, which is a wool and haberdashery shop. And then it actually says there, fabric now in stock. Who's ever heard of a... Obviously, it's like saying a pub's got beer in stock. I mean, come on. It can be difficult when you're a council or whatever to try and do the best for people. So they have a Grimsby Learning Centre there to help people who are disadvantaged, whatever, which is quite smart. And on the other side of the road, they have something called Staff Force, which again is recruitment place, but I think there are some people not overly impressed with it. Never mind. There's all the other shops on the parade seem to be shut, apart from Meridian Business Support, that's open as well. The NHS is open, although it's shut at the minute. So yeah, they're all shut at the moment, sorry. This building is quite small, which is very small. It has a plaque on it, and we like plaques. And it doesn't mention the Romanians, spelled wrong, Romans. What it actually mentions is that this building was opened in 1876 and served the town for many years as a grammar school for boys. Was there only 12 of them? It's tiny. Either that or they weren't educated enough, I don't know, but either way, what a tiny little building that served as a grammar school for many years? Really? This building, I assume, is the town hall. I only assume that because it's called Town Hall Square and it's a big building and it's got like lots of faces of people who look like they were mayors or people who were important in the history of the place. And look, even on a bank holiday, it's got the lights on anyway. I don't think there's anyone on. You could say that for most politicians' places though, couldn't you? This is something you don't see very often. It's a very, very, very old building. So old in fact that when it was built, glass hadn't been invented. So what they used mesh steel. And you can still see that in the windows today. Wow, that's beautiful. Best thing I've seen today so far. So here we are in Grimsby Docks, or at least a bit of Grimsby Docks anyway. There's one boat there which is sounding its horn. It's got the horn, I know. And we've also got B&Ms, which is always what you have in a dock. It's got to be fair. There is plenty of water here in Grimsby, which is what you'd expect with it being like on the seafront with big docks and stuff like that. But a lot of the water isn't accessible by vehicles, especially cars. So for example, this canal is actually just all greened up. But on the other side, there's some ducks and swans swimming. So it's quite pretty, quite being the opposite road. There are some nice old buildings here as well, like for example that one there, although it's derelict, and this one here, again the roof's falling in. It is in quite a state of disrepair, as you can see the roof's falling in as well on the other side of the road, so there is potential I suppose. Hopefully someone can sort it out. One thing about Grimsby is the car parking's cheap, even though the car park is quite empty. It's only £1 for the length of time I've been here, which is unspecified to be fair. We have seen many bridges in our time on these travels all over the country, and that does not include this one, which is here in Grimsby. And this is the most spectacular bridge we've ever seen. I think it's even more spectacular than the one in Newcastle, you know where the Newcastle is, because this one, it doesn't split in half, the whole thing lifts up to let ships through it. We're on the hinge here, and all this mechanism here actually twists, and where I'm stood now goes up and lets boats through it. Like for example that noisy one that was on earlier. Oh, that one over there which is sunk, so it probably won't let that one through. And even the ones that are all the way over there on the other side of the marina, but they couldn't get through the bridge because the control tower wouldn't let him. Talking of which, control tower's up there, you can just about see it. It's superb, I love it. Got some pictures here on the wall. We like pictures. Pictures are good. That is where I'm stood now, this bit here. And it's won an award for commercial restoration. Yeah, all they've saved are these two kind of tiled things. The rest of it's gone. Oh well. Here we are at the docks. There's a couple of ships in. You can see there's a red one. Where is it? It's over there somewhere. And then there's an orange one. And then there's a white one over there with a bit of orange on it as well. So Grimsby docks, absolutely packed out. Although, to be fair, even though it's 31 degrees, we've got a sign here for the British Antarctic Survey. That's interesting, isn't it? Here we are again, another part of the docks. This is Grimsby and Cleethorpes Yacht Club. And as you can see, we've got yachts. But you look in the distance, there's a massive ship as well, right at the behind the garage thing, all the way over there. Where is it? There it is. Massive ship. And that's unloading cars. There's a massive car park here that is literally full of cars. I think that's where all the cars have gone. When I go in car parks and they're empty, I think they're all here. We're now at the fishing part of Grimsby, where everything around here is fishy. Cook and Lucas, for example, they're not fishy, but the company is, because they sell fish. And here's some of the detritus that you get from fish selling, such as the big crates there. And these that you've seen on the telly, the polystyrene things that stink of fish, because they've had fish in them. They haven't got fish in them now. If they have, the fish will have gone off. But I'm sure it's been sold and eaten and enjoyed by people, but not vegans. You want to come somewhere that's absolutely here, then you can do a lot worse than Grimsby. Till next time, bye.
Where shall we go today? Where shall we go? Where do you want to go today? Let's visit.